no, and then I wake up to Snapchats of that person in her bed, like slept over and came over. And I'm an understanding person, like, hey, can this person like come? Like, I'm having people over. I'm understanding, but no. And I was like, I can't do this. And like, yeah, I was in like a bad headspace, and then honestly, I already needed to get help, like, which I did. And so like, it's not healthy to always break up, but like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, no, that's sus. And it's after we've already broken up a couple times. And I'm in Arizona. Went to this girl named Diz's house. Cool girl. Me and there, hung out with Katie, like hit it off. And then Olivia and I were over. I was gonna go to LA with my management for the vault. And Olivia's like, no, if you still love me, like, you'll still come to Georgia, like, and still, like, hang out with me. I'm like, okay, like, I love this girl. I even told Katie, I was like, we're just, like, talking friendly, but, like, flirty. I was like, hey, like, I'm gonna go see Olivia. Like, we might get back together. Like, I told her this, but obviously Olivia doesn't know we're talking because, one, it's not really her business. We're not together, and it would hurt her. And, so Olivia went on my phone when I was sleeping. She saw the text with Katie. Obviously was hurt. I was in Georgia. She wanted me to still come. I had a flight. She wanted me to go there instead of LA. Katie knew I was going to Georgia. She DM'd Katie, and Katie was like, Ava said you guys were broken up. We were, that you're doing for social media. We still were making videos like we normally did for social media. That is true. We weren't dating. And then Olivia gave me an ultimatum, like, me or her. So obviously, like, I'm in love with this girl. Like, I came to, like, kind of work it out. We got back together. And so the next day when we're back together, KB is official with this girl. Never brought her up. I at least gave the decency to say I might get back with Liv. She knew about Liv. Never brought this girl Maddie up at all. At all. So she can say she was pissed off that I got back together with Olivia. Like, okay. Like, I would be too if you had feelings for someone. She literally went public with this girl I had no idea about. Never talked about her once. And yeah, so we still, like, were texting, which is my error. Like, I don't know. I think her girlfriend knew that we were texting, but Olivia didn't know because she was already skeptical of Katie, like, which is my fault. And I've said that before. So yeah, she was public with someone else. Never told me about her. And then I'm gonna, like, skip forward just, like, to the notes because I, like, took notes watching the live because I've already said everything else. I did drop off presents for Keith's birthday. She was in Arizona. I saw her with Jeremy the night or 2 nights before. It was, like, really sad to, like, see her, obviously, because last time I saw her we were together and she was my best friend. And I did drop off presents, like poetry presents and, like, a letter. Like, that wasn't necessarily cool to be with Olivia, but I should have gone back with Olivia that time because we both weren't ready. And, you know, Katie started talking to me again. Then I wake up the next day with texts from, like, Olivia. Like, I totally understand, like, being pissed off about the presents. And I was, like, stuttering, like, I didn't know what to say. Like, you know, I was like, Katie wouldn't tell her this, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her, like, Katie, I didn't even know this. I was like, have you been talking to OP? Because she knew at the time I did not like OP because OP and I have said things about one another, and, like, Katie was my best friend and, like, we dated. So that was kind of a stab in the back, like, to even know they were talking because Katie told me they weren't. And Katie was like, no, I don't text OP, blah, 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 just to find out from Olivia that OP and her were hanging out. So I went off on Katie. I was like, you're a liar, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then she apologized and, like, I'm so forgiving. I was like, it's okay, I'm not mad. She's like, come to the airport before I go to LA. I'm like, I can't. And then when she was back home, I like, cooled down a little bit. And I basically was on the phone, like, this is literally Vampire Diaries. But, like, it wasn't right that I got back together with Liv. I don't know how to end it. And she was like, yeah, you need to. Like, she was talking about how she was in love with me and wanted to be with me. Like, so obviously we were both not doing the right thing. But each time I've gone behind Olivia's back with her, obviously Katie knows because I'm talking to Katie. So I don't really know what the victim mentality is right there. Or when she apologizes, like, that it's fine. And when I was doing the same thing. And so that was that. And then, so we're talking, Katie and I on our birthday, like, so. This is like right when it hits 12 o'clock. We're still on FaceTime, like talking about like how I'm gonna end it with Olivia because I know it's not right to be with her. Like, I'm not healed, blah blah blah, and I still have feelings for Katie, and like you shouldn't be in a relationship with feelings for someone else. And no, this isn't different stories. I'm literally going off everything that I didn't include what they said. I'm speaking on it. And so, different thing. Olivia said I was being lovey-dovey to her because Katie was done at the party. Katie was done because I told Olivia the truth about her texting me, and I only brought it up because Olivia started speaking about things Katie was saying that weren't true and that were extremely hurtful, and I was like, fuck this, like, she's been texting me, and she's like, no, she hasn't. I'm like, yeah. She's like, let me see your phone. I showed her the phone, and Katie also said I never showed her text she sent me at the parties. I was so pissed off at her, and I was with the girl I love, so I blocked her. Olivia knows I blocked her. Well, we were blocked on Instagram already, but the Twitter was open and my texts were open, and I just blocked her before she could even contact me. I was so frustrated. Love you. I was so frustrated, and so I wasn't hiding any texts. Whatever she said, I blocked her. I never received any of those texts from the weekend. But yes, the cheating. KB cheated on Maddie with me. When I told Katie at the beach that I still had like feelings for Liv and I was probably gonna go back with her, she said like, I can like really fuck you up, like this is my major. I was like, okay. And she was like, just letting you know, I was with Maddie the whole time we were talking. I'm like, okay, one, that's not a flex. I literally told her, I'm like, I feel bad for Maddie, like, why are you telling me this? Am I supposed to feel sad? Like, that looks bad on you. And then, like, we were, like, intimate later that day, and then apparently KB told OP, even though it wasn't her business, and OP told Liv, and Liv was, like, fine with it. She's like, I get it, like, blah, blah, and then, like, Liv came to LA, and we hung out. But that's really all of it that I had to reply with their video. I'm not talking shit about KB. I'm saying the truth about what happened. And she's saying I never told Jay. Like, Jay and I weren't even a thing, and it didn't work out for many reasons. We just weren't compatible. It's, like, wasn't a big deal. We weren't heartbroken over it. She was, KB in the situation is hurt because, one, I told Olivia the truth, and secondly, I didn't end things with Jay for her, like I said I did. And I even told Olivia, I was like, yeah, I did tell Katie that, which was a lie, but am I gonna tell? And even Olivia was like, why would you tell Jay that you're ending things with her for, like, Katie? Like, why would you do that? Like, she even understood. Like, Liv even said that. She's like, yeah, I totally get that. Same reason Katie didn't tell me she had feelings for Liv, like, which is even worse. So, like, I'm really confused how, like, they even knew after all this stuff, after I went to treatment, all the stuff I've done, and Katie still was texting me. So I'm really confused, like, what went off other than me showing Olivia the text messages and her contacting Jay. Like, I didn't tell Jay I was ending things with her for Katie. Why would I? Why would I tell anyone, like, hey, this isn't working, I want to be with my ex? Like, I just leave it as is. Olivia even understood that. Same way Katie didn't tell me she had feelings for my ex. Cancels out. Maybe even worse. And basically just pissed off I showed Olivia the text, and she thinks I didn't change after treatment because of that. No, like, I'm gonna tell her the truth after she said every fuck thing you said about me. And so yeah, that's that. And about my letters when I was away in treatment, yeah, I sent her letters. Like, that wasn't bad. Olivia wasn't in my life, you know. I was mad at Olivia. The night we ended, 3 hours later, she went to Katie's house, and Katie literally was the one telling me, like, ways to leave Olivia. And so I just thought it was fucked. And, like, my ex-best friend at the time, Sam, even though my best friend now, like, we already admitted our faults, was there. And OP, my girlfriend's ex-girlfriend, even though it was just a week, was there. Like, that was a lot, and I went to treatment. So the letters I sent to Katie there, like, were all, like, true. And she says I sent so many, and she only sent one, which is true. She asked me to send her letters, and then she went on vacation and stuff. But the last letter she sent me, it was kind of like a goodbye letter, but, like, hoping that, like, we can meet our healed versions of ourselves. And then she sent me literally, like, 40 printed out pictures, like, marrying your best friend, like, at 4 a.m., like, we were laughing, and I fell in love, and, like, it wasn't expected, like, all this stuff. So, like, she says she has, like, receipts, like, she can show everyone. Like, I have nothing to hide. Those were my feelings for her. I wasn't with Olivia at the time. So I don't know what got lost in translation. I'm not really scared about her showing my letters or whatever. Those were the feelings I had for her. It's not wrong to have a soft heart. Why did I go to treatment? I literally wanted to die. Like, all of that together, past with all my other trauma I already had to work on. And the way I treated people in the past was because of my trauma. And like, I'll take fault for that. But, like, what also they did to me, I just needed to work on myself and be away from social media. Because social media is, like, one of the best and worst things that has ever happened to me. But basically, that's it. It kind of sucks because after having this weekend with, like, yeah, she was mad at Katie. Katie did tell me, like, we went on FaceTime, so, like, they're not all receipts one time. We only went FaceTime one time when I was just in Alabama, like, because we started off on a call because I was bitching her out. I was like, because I talked to one of her friends, and I was like, you know, I'm not dumb. I'm just going to assume because my gut is always right. I was like, stop. Like, I was being kind of rude. I was like, hey, like, I'm done with this. Like, she's like, okay, that's fine that you're done, but, like, may I ask why? I'm like, you like have feelings for my ex. No way, it's just like one-sided. Blah. She calls me, like, I call her and, like, we're both crying. She's like, no, I don't have feelings for your ex. I promise I love you. Like, I'm not looking to even date. Like, I'm not ready and I haven't even started healing from this. And I was like, okay. And then it ended up with us on a FaceTime watching Vampire Diaries and falling asleep on the phone, and her saying on the phone that she was so in love with me. And I'd joke around and be like, oh, you're so in love with me? She'd be like, yeah, what? Like, of course. So everyone did everyone pretty dirty. Like, I feel bad for what I did to the two girls, of course. Yes, I do. And I've said that so many times, and I've worked on myself, and I still need to work on myself. But, like, what's fucked up is, like, they both, Katie, like, even after all that, we were just talking before I saw her live in LA. And everything wasn't fine, but, like, she was still saying she was in love with me and stuff. So, like, what changed? I told Olivia the truth. Like, that's it. And then Olivia, like, it's, like, really fucked. Like, I saw it, like, we even said, like, we need to give it a year or two. Like, even though, like, but, like, so, like, the trust can be there and, like, we can be better and focus on ourselves. And it's, like, she agreed. And, like, obviously, like, we're so in love with each other. Like, when we see each other, it's going to be, like, we're a couple. So I'm sorry, like, we put that on social media. I am. But, like, obviously, like, when I like someone, I do that, especially Olivia. But, like, what I was really hurt about was that she gave me false hope. Like, the whole time we were talking about, like, marriage and shit and, like, kids and, like, acting the same. And I didn't lie to her. You know, I did not say that Katie wrote me 10 letters, even though that is very irrelevant because Olivia was in my life. But, like, still, I said Katie wrote me one letter, a goodbye letter, and, like, sent 40 things about, like, marrying a best friend, healing, sun and moon shit. That was our thing. And so, basically, yeah. So, I don't know. I want them to be happy, but I don't think it's cool because we literally, not left on good terms. Katie did say goodbye to me, but, like, Olivia and I were literally going to the airport before Katie came and talked to us. And, like, Katie came and talked to us. Like, there was nothing hidden in that conversation, really. It's everything we all did know, but it was, like, all together. And they dropped me off at the airport. And, like, yeah, it's like they're going together, but, like, Olivia needed to talk to Katie. Like, I understand that. And it's kind of, it just really hurts knowing that Katie's, like, already in Georgia and they're making thirst traps, like, when nothing just happened. So, yeah. Story time. I just hate the victim mindset because, like, we're past that. Like, I've done that before, but, like, she was the one texting me too. Like, and I don't care who texted who first. Like, she still said the thing she did. And the only reason why it's different now is because what? Like, I told Olivia. If anything, people deserve each other. I don't think that's going to work out. Like, they're two good friends. Maybe they'll have that. I hope it works out for them. But, you know, two people are meant to be together, like me, Liv, or, like, me with someone else, or Liv with someone, or Katie with someone. Like, everyone deserves to be happy, and, like, time will tell. Time heals everything. If something's meant to be, like, everyone knows it will be. And, yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna get off now.